And there we go. I think everybody can hear me now because I can hear everything else going on. All right. So part of the moving process, as you can see, like all my technology stuff is fully being taken apart over here in the background. So that could be part of the problem. I had an IT guy come in here and he swore like, "Hey, chill, you're gonna be okay. I'm gonna have you up and running." But you got to pack some things up because you got to pack some things up because you got to get ready for your move, and we got to move things to the next place so we can set things up. So I was like, okay, cool. I was like, let's make this as simple as possible. So the adventures of Chile and moving and all that good stuff. Um, I got some special guests lined up. I got one of my favorite guys, one of my favorite coaches out there in the business. So I can't wait to have this conversation, especially since I got to get some get back for one of the other coaches that I low key know. So I got to get some get back. I'm going to prepare him for that. So now I got his mind wandering. But something's that like man, sports in the valley. The Suns, I cannot believe how they are about to backdoor their way into these playoffs and find themselves with the 10th seed and then hopefully make this improbable run with KD and Book. But I was having this fascinating conversation today with Adam Beadle and JJ Digos, super talented photographer, super talented um, internet personality, Adam Beadle, super talented photographer, JJ Digos. And we're talking about like, is Book really an alpha? Like, is he really that guy? Like, can he carry a team? Can he do all that work? Can he handle this? And you know what? I thought yes, but we are getting to the point in his career where is the answer no? And when they blow this up, do they have to bring in an actual alpha so that Book can stay a Sun forever and retire with a championship, hopefully here in Phoenix, without going somewhere else? I don't know the answer. I'm curious to hear what everybody else has to say. If you got opinions, let me know. Spring ball, it's underway. I think all the schools are getting down. I seen NAU having a blast up there. I think I saw like some crossover promotion with like some of the dancers cheer squad or whatever, and then some of the boys getting jiggy with it. But I know NAU got that thing cooking, and I see a million kids excited to get up there this weekend and last weekend and stuff. So I'm super hyped for them. Also, the local guys doing their thing, and one of my favorites. I thought that this was super cool, and Brad Denny really caught this picture. Trenton Bourget, Coach Trenton Bourget, the super talented quarterback from Marana, went on an amazing run, during his stretch, got that dub versus Washington, lit up Colorado, really did his thing. So it was really, really cool seeing that and being a part of that, ride. So, I can't wait to see what's next for him and, everything that he's got going on in his coaching journey now. Um, you know, they're not the only ones that got spring ball underway. And look, I know the schools down south got something going on, but I got to catch up with my guy. I got to catch up with one of my guys up north, and I'm gonna bring him on in a second. Um, Before that, I do want to talk about Elite 11. This camp, a lot of quarterbacks are hitting me up saying like, Chili, how do I get the invite? What's the procedure? What do I got to do? The procedure changes like every year. Like every year, there's like new standards being set. They want more offers. They want more clout. They want super active on social media, drive the ratings, things like that. And it's becoming that way for a lot of things. So, like, listen, work hard, get your stats up, perform on Friday nights. You know, Elite 11, Rivals Camp, all these camps, they're very, very cool. They're great opportunities to be seen, be shown, get on a platform. But nothing's gonna beat what you do on Friday night. And you know what? I can really turn some of that over to my next guest. I can't wait to chop it up with my guy, Coach Larson, the offensive line coach from NAU. I'm gonna bring him on, just hang out with us for 10 seconds. And Coach Larson coming up next. Boom, the big fella, Coach Larson. What's up?
What's up, Chili? Appreciate you having me on.
Nah, yeah, I appreciate you taking some time to hang out and stuff. Doing a lot of hanging out. I know that you guys. Let's just get into some of the recruiting stuff right away since I brought up the Elite 11 stuff. But I know that you guys have been super active on these weekends, and really pitching. You guys really trying to take advantage, pitch that the weather is so beautiful up there, and you're like an outdoorsy type of guy. What has you the most excited about all that's going on up there at NAU right now with the recruiting scene?
Yeah, I think it all starts with the people. I mean, it started with Coach Wright coming in here, putting together a great coaching staff that extends to the other staff members, the players, of course, being at the core of that all. But, while we do have a great location, we've got great weather, facilities, all those types of things. As you know, when you're in that daily grind, it's the people that you're around that's going to make that
Facts.
experience go or flop. And so, really, that's us. We need people to campus so they can be with us, see that we're real, see what we have to offer. And I think that experience speaks for itself when kids get to campus.
And that kind of ties into that buzzword, that big buzzword that everybody uses, culture. The culture at NAU, like, listen, I love the previous staff, loved a lot of members of it, but what you guys got going on up there right now, like, absolutely cooking with gas, and so many people are so excited to be a part of it. You guys made the playoffs last year, 8 wins. How do you build off of that? What's the next step? How do you crack into that, like, top 1, 2 in the Big Sky?
Yeah, that's a great question. Like you mentioned, year one, a lot of that is establishing the culture, building the connection and the relationship that is going to be our ultimate foundation. So we continue to pour in the connection with the players, with the other coaches, things of that nature. But a big thing we're harping on and talking about right now to go from good to great, I think the first step is who's going to be on the bus and what seats do they sit in. We got to figure out which players on the roster right now are going to fit in what we're doing and exactly what seat do they sit in? What's that role and how does that look
Okay.
like? And so this is a big time right now for us to figure out all of that before we even figure out what's the direction of the bus. We got to get the right people in the right seats. Then let's figure out the direction of the bus and go from there. Try to get from good to great.
Hey, do you feel any sort of pressure in terms of the success of the team? Because obviously you're the offensive line coach. It all starts with the center. He touches the ball first, and the big fellas, the trenches. You got to win the trenches. You don't win the trenches, you're not winning a lot of games. Do you ever feel a lot more, a little more pressure being the O line coach?
I feel like that's just what you sign up for. We're the tip of the spear. Everything starts and ends with that offensive line. If you can't protect that quarterback, if you can't open holes for the running backs, etc., you're not going to go very far. And I think you see it at every single level of football, right? It doesn't matter if it's the
Facts.
Eagles in the Super Bowl. They dominated the trenches. They won the Super Bowl. So I think what we found last year was we are able to beat a lot of teams, but those truly elite top tier teams, we fell a little bit short in the trenches. So I know we're all very motivated here to continue that development and take that next step in the trenches so we can be where we want to be, winning 2 trophies, Big Sky and national title.
Hey, you were an offensive lineman in your playing
Mhm.
days, if I'm not mistaken. You actually did that, and that wasn't so long ago. Do you ever jump in these drills just to remind the kids, like, hey, my footwork's right, so there's no excuse for you to not have your footwork right. Let me show you how these hands can give violent. Like, do you ever jump in these drills and mix it up and just remind them, like, hey, I'm like that too. Y'all say you like that, but I'm really like that.
Yeah, I definitely do. And I think I learned from a great coach, Jason Candle at Toledo. You better be able to emulate it exactly the right way yourself. Or if you can't, because you didn't play the position or you're getting up there in age, whatever the case may be, better show some elite videotape as to what you're supposed to do because they need a visual reminder of what it looks like. So, is it me hopping in to just show them what's up? Not necessarily, but at the same time, I take pride in, hey, if I got 1 rep, it's going to be a good rep. Now, after that, I have no idea. Okay, I'm getting a little bit older. It's probably not going to go too well. Not totally in that type of shape. But for 1 rep, I'm going to go win that rep.
Man, I love that. Hey, listen, camp season's, it's here. Like, you guys are inviting kids up. I'm seeing it all over Twitter. Everybody's saying that they're going up north this weekend, last weekend, the next weekend. You guys obviously have your camps, your sevens, things like that. Great place to be seen. Now, some of these national camps, the rivals camps, the Under Armour camps, the Elite 11 stuff, like, how much stock do you guys put in the evaluation process that, a kid got invited there? They attended it. They got an MVP award.
Yeah, I think sometimes the awards are something that might be a little bit eye popping just because they went there, with what we assume is a lot of really good talent, and they stood out amongst all those peers. But just purely going to the camp or being invited and stuff like that, not a ton of stock because, first of all, we're not at the camps. And
Sure.
second of all, we're just really going to rely on our own process, our own eyes, our own evaluation. So that's going to be the main thing that we always start with: the videotape, getting people to campus, and live evaluations of our own position coaches at whatever position we're evaluating.
Hey, speaking of tape and stuff, offensive linemen, sometimes they're like, oh, what can we put on there that really pops out to a coach? Coach, what can an offensive lineman, what can a trench dog put on their tape that really grabs your attention?
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, we've got some non-negotiables we always look for on tape, and the first thing is your what we call twitch off the ball. Kind of no different than a receiver coming off the ball. Okay, maybe a running back getting downhill, QB taking off to run. Okay, that initial burst off the line. Okay, you got offensive linemen where, hey, I've even looked at a film today where a couple clips, maybe half the time, the lineman had a good burst, and then the other half the time, I don't know if it's because he was less sure or it's a different technique, but he kind of oozes slowly off the ball. And I'm not really interested in the slow ooze off the
Okay.
ball because you get to this level, it is played fast. So the
All
twitch off the
right.
ball is absolutely crucial, I think, at every position, but especially offensive line. Then from there, we go to frame and length. We have a particular length and frame that we're looking for. Got to have a certain size to play Division One football. That's just the reality of it, just because of comps. Your average bigger guy pans out higher than your average smaller or shorter arm guy. Not to say you can't, but it's less common. Then we look for our balance. So, like, you got all those pancake blocks, right, Chili? Guy,
Yeah.
and is it a pancake block where the defender tripped over someone else's leg and you landed on him? Or is it, I took this man point A to point B against his will and there's nothing he could do about it? Guys, so the latter is
Love
what
to
we're
see
looking
that.
for. Vertical movement in favor of the offensive line of scrimmage. We want to see that power and that leg churn off the ball. It's real common for guys to have a strong upper body. They grab a hold of someone with the upper body and they torque and they turn and stuff like that. I don't I don't care about that. I want to see you
Okay.
drive through the legs and the hips and move somebody off the ball against where they want to go, if that makes sense.
Okay.
So those are some big
All right.
things that we're always looking for. And every time we watch a film, it's very specific in our language, like frame and length look like this. Twitch appears to be this, right? Our balance, our power, those four things we're always looking for.
All right, man. Hey, look, spring ball is underway. And you coaches, you guys know who's been putting in the work during the
Mm-hmm.
downtime. Uh, Players don't believe that though. Players don't believe that. How's the turnout been for you guys out there? Like, can you tell like everybody bought into the vibe last year? Everybody believes that y'all got the right stuff. Like, how did everybody come back?
Yeah, I would say the vast majority of guys are they're believing, they're in alignment with what the plan is, and they've just been attacking and running to that work every single day. Like you said,
Love it.
sometimes players don't believe that maybe coaches pay attention to that or coaches care about it. But coming from a Division One college coach myself, we track all of that. I'm looking at every single last thing. And I'll tell you what the interesting thing is, Chili, based off guys who miss their weight range, maybe don't pass hydration, they show up late a time or two, stuff like that. Those guys that rack up a bunch of those types of things in the off season, they show up to spring ball and they almost always perform the worst because it goes hand in hand. How you do one
For
thing
sure.
off season is how you're going to play football. It's going to show up eventually, especially at offensive line. You can't hide in the trenches. You might hide out there on the outside somewhere and exist, not at center, guard, tackle. You got someone right in your grill every single play. So you better be able to play fast and know what to do.
Absolutely, man. Hey, look, we've been talking about how NAU was absolutely cooking last year. I know you guys had the 5 game win streak, made the playoffs, 8 wins, all that good stuff. You absolutely flamed and cooked wide receiver coach Domino about his cooking. Coach, I need to know what is Emerald Larson throwing down in the kitchen that makes your stove so hot?
I wouldn't say it's super hot, but I know I do a little bit more cooking than him just because his girlfriend is a really good cook. So she
You
does it
said that.
all. So I'm not knocking that. Okay. But I'm married. My wife's not the biggest cook. so it more lands on me if we're going to cook at home. Guys, so I like to
What's your specialty? What's your specialty? What is the Coach Larson specialty?
specialty. I like to do Italian.
Go to.
Guys, so like
Oh,
any kind of pasta. I like to do lasagna. Really anything in that realm. My wife's half Italian, so she's all about it too. I just do it instead of her. She's also gluten free, so that gets a little bit tricky sometimes. I got to iron out some of the gluten free versions of Italian,
okay.
but we're still working on that, getting that done. And always love to throw down on the grill, burgers, steaks, hot dog, whatever. Anything on the grill is always a good time. I don't have a smoker. Coach Fett does, so I like to go over to Coach Fett sometime and get on the smoker and do some stuff like that. But that's for the most part what I'm throwing down in the kitchen.
All right, all right. Respect. I respect that. Hey, listen. I know you're kind of an outdoorsy dude. Obviously, you like to go. You like to go. I think you like to go hiking and stuff like that. You like to
Yeah,
see the trails or whatever, right? Flagstaff notorious for that type of stuff. Listen, the lifestyle out there, like because everybody kind of like thinks Flagstaff, and if it's not snowing, that there's nothing to do. That's not the truth. There's a lot of stuff to do out there, and in fact, just so everybody knows, your boy Chili, I used to be a DJ at the radio station out here, notorious with Coach Regal and stuff like that. But I used to DJ a weekend gig in Flagstaff. Like there was a Marley's out there that they used to bring me up every weekend for like 2 years, and like that place was we had that place on tilt. So like there is college life up there. What's the vibe like out there away from football? What can people expect?
yeah, absolutely. I think it's again, it's really centered around the outdoors, which you kind of hit on, because like we mentioned earlier, we have great weather. Okay, we're at elevation, we're in the mountains. It's very sunny almost all the time, just like this whole beautiful state is for the
Yeah.
most part. But it doesn't get as hot as it does down there in the valley in Tucson in the summertime, right? That part kind of is what it is. So what I like about it is year round, whether you're enjoying the snow and getting up on the slopes, right, or maybe you're enjoying the sun and where it's 85, no humidity in the summer, and you're enjoying around on the golf course. Anything you think of you want to do outside, you'd probably rather do it here than most places in the entire country. That's why it's a big destination. A lot of people have second homes. And the same thing then goes for college students. The nice thing, too, a lot of the stuff outdoors doesn't have a big cost. So if I'm a college kid and I'm looking for stuff to do that isn't expensive because I don't have money, I'm a broke college kid, this is a good area to get that done. Now it's still
Okay.
golf and stuff like that might have a cost, but at the same time, there's, to me, always stuff to do. If you get with your boys, get with your friends, go outdoors, that part's always fun.
Yeah. And the skiing is absolutely snowballs lit. Like I know that you
Oh,
guys,
yeah.
I know there's a lot of skiers and stuff like that. So the kids can always do that stuff. Hey, Coach Larson, I really appreciate you hanging out. I'm definitely gonna get up there for the sevens and stuff like that. And before I let you go, I do gotta say this. Going up to NAU's camps, it pays. You guys took a lot of kids that came up to your camps. Can you dive into that a little bit?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, part of our stipulation, whenever we offer anybody a scholarship, you need to get to campus. You need to talk to our head coach in his office in person, and your position coach needs to see you live. So the nice selling point there is what better way than if you're offered or trying to get that offer to come to one of our camps. You can knock out all three of those steps and get yourself a committable offer in one day if you come to an NAU camp. So again, someone that's been offered by us that wants to go from I have an offer to I can commit to an offer, or someone that's on the cusp and wants an offer from here, come right in front of the position coach. And if you show out, you're going to get that offer. So I think that's the benefit of our camps on top of, again, great location, great weather, all that nice stuff too.
Hey, Coach Larson, I really appreciate you hanging out. I am going to get up there for some sevens for sure. Definitely going to try to take advantage of the good weather up there and the Coach Cheatwood Airbnb. So, Coach Larson, I'm gonna catch up with you down the line for sure because I know you're going to be out in the Valley recruiting soon. Also,
For sure.
up next, I do got a super special talent, so you might want to hang out for a little bit, just so you know. All right,
Awesome. Appreciate it.
all right. Take care, Coach.
Thanks, Chili.
Boom, super special talent. You know the deal. Repping with that Arizona Wildcats is insane. Knowing that this is Forks Up Forever. But Marcel Jones, Mr. By 70, you know the deal. Elite 11's own, just coming off the Austin showcase. Marcel, what's going on, man? How are you?
I'm straight. How about you?
Shoot, I'm living. Look like you got some paperwork in front of you. I hope that's
Uh,
homework. You doing some homework?
of course, yeah.
Staying
Algebra
on
2.
top of it.
Gotta lock in,
Okay.
yes, sir.
Hey, got to keep them numbers right. You know what I'm talking about. My quarterbacks and those
Yeah.
NIL deals going crazy. Elite 11. What was the competition like? I know I went to Austin last year. I didn't get to go this year, but I know the competition was super stiff last year. What was it like this year?
I mean, I would say that it was probably the same as you seen last year. Like 5 stars everywhere, 4 stars. Even like the unranked dudes, like it was just you could tell the different level out there compared to like other states, like the LA, the one last year. It was some good dudes, but it wasn't nothing like the one in Texas.
Yeah, look, last year I got to see you and Tate in the same group and stuff, getting some work. And then this year, Tate went to LA and you went to Austin, and I was supposed to go to Austin, and that whole thing didn't work out. But I got to watch y'all work. Now you guys kind of the top two quarterbacks in the class.
Yeah.
That's what everybody's saying, right? Healthy competition between the two of you guys. Do you guys communicate at all?
Nah, actually, I don't talk to Tate. Like when we see each other, like we chop it up though for sure.
Because you guys see each other a little bit off season camps, Seventh Circuit, things like
Yeah,
that, stuff like that. No surprise, you absolutely blazed this is 40 at the Elite 11. I had a bunch of people hit me up and say that it looked more like you ran 4.4, but
yeah,
I think the time said like 4.54 or something like that. But
yeah.
look, hey, running anything under a 4.6 at Elite 11 is difficult. Can you explain it a little bit? Were you surprised at all? Like, were you working on this stuff?
Um, so like a month before, my dad he wanted to get with a coach, so we got with Sherrod, the Desert Edge track coach, but
Okay, that's a good dude to get with.
we only went for like 2 sessions because like track season starting up, and after that I never really worked on it. I was just like, I don't know how to start, so I'm gonna just watch like another quarterback do it, and then just copy them. I was just watching Milrow, like I repeated it like 20 times before I went up and did my 40. So I tried to just copy what he did and then just use my speed like to carry on. So yeah.
And it worked out, and it obviously worked out because even though you only did the 2 sessions with self and you just watched a bunch of tape, like it worked out for you because you had a great time. But one thing I do know about you, even though you are a super athletic quarterback, you want to be known as a thrower. You want to be respected for your ability to get the ball to receivers and stuff. Where does that mentality come from when you can do it so easily with your feet?
I just feel like you want to make the people around you better. Like as a quarterback, that's always my main goal. And like me running is not like making anyone better. Like so like I just want to like give my teammates love too. Like so what I've been doing, just I've been training with Coach Strev,
Okay.
CFL dude. Like he's been teaching me like you can't. It's not quarterback is not just being an athlete. Like it's a mind, and you gotta like start from the ground up. So we just been training footwork a lot, like a lot of leadership stuff. So yeah,
Hey, Coach Strebler was a super athletic quarterback too. Like
yeah,
that dude could move. I know last year you were coached by Coach Denker, the former U of A quarterback, who was a dual threat quarterback, athletic quarterback. How was that relationship? Because the game that I went out to watch, um, it seemed like he didn't incorporate enough of his own type of game into what you were doing out there. What was the relationship like with the two of you?
it was a good one. It was just like it was like a difficult season for everyone. Like it was first year coaches. Then I came back off a
Okay.
year like I'm not playing, so I was a little rusty. What game did you come to so I could like? Try to remember.
I came out to the one with Coach Regal. It was
Oh, Liberty.
was that Liberty? I think yeah, I think it was the first. I think I was out there for the first half of the game.
Yeah,
But you guys, I mean, I know you guys are trying to work, and I know Liberty's like the champs and stuff, but it just seemed like um, you weren't able to execute all the things that I know that you can do.
yeah. I feel like, man, like those first 2 drives, like we were killing them, and then they just shut everything down after that. And then, like, like defense communicates, like they were just calling out our plays left to right. Like I was confused, like what do I do, like as a quarterback to like try to throw these guys off? So I feel like that was like at everything. It wasn't just him like not getting me like in the like run
Okay.
game dual threat stuff. So yeah,
Okay. Hey, also, I do know that there are some changes at Saguaro.
yeah.
There are some coaching changes. Can you expand on that a little bit? Besides Coach Mazzone and besides the new run game coordinator, I know that you guys got some dudes stepping in that building that are about to turn this thing upside down.
Sure.
You want to expand on this a little bit and some of the excitement that I know that you got going on?
Yeah. So I was very excited when Coach DK told me we were getting Mazzoni because, like, as you know, I was at Chaparral and they hired him for 6 days and then fired him. Like, so like I've been training with him actually even after Chaparral. Like we've
Okay.
been like in the film room a lot. He helped me like just learn coverages, stuff like that, base defenses. And like his
Okay.
offense is like he has a great offense. Like people think like great offenses are complicated. His is like easy to understand and it just makes sense. Like everyone like job is easier when he's coaching. So yeah.
So Coach Mazzone, and this is well documented. Coach Mazzone had a quarterback over there at Higley go off for almost 5,000 yards of offense. Do you kind of use that as the bar for yourself that like, hey, look, he's done this once, and I'm just as athletic, if not more, than the other kid. Like I know that I'm capable of running these numbers up. Also, do you kind of feel that way?
I wouldn't say that. Nah, I don't. I just want to win. Honestly, I'm not even worried about like
Okay.
stats this year.
Okay.
But yeah, before like when he was my coach at Shap, me and Jamar would like joke around a little bit, like, "Oh yeah, I'm getting 6,000 this time," but it's almost impossible in 6A with all the great teams we play. So yeah, just
No, for sure, but you know you're gonna have those opportunities, you and
yeah,
Tristan, because I
for
know you got
sure,
some dudes over there, and I know Tristan just waiting to catch the ball and find that
yeah,
end zone.
for sure.
Talking about that relationship, Tristan comes over also from Chaparral. What's that relationship been like, and having your dog with you this whole time?
I feel like our relationship, like we already know, we expect the best out of each other. So like we don't always hang out, but like we already know when it's time to go, time to get to work, and he knows when I'm slacking, he gets on me, and then when he's slacking, I get on him. So it's just
Okay.
like a great relationship to have with like a friend and a teammate. So yeah.
No, absolutely. Hey, look, you got that good work over there at Elite 11. I know that Rico Blasingame was out there. Were you guys taking care of each other, making sure that you guys were both on point?
The crazy like we try to train together so much, but like I was a little busy. He was busy at work and stuff like that. So like we didn't really have the chemistry, but like yeah, we was Rico was cooking out there. We got like a couple reps together one on ones. I think my dad probably
I,
sent you
I,
some clips. Yeah.
I, I saw a couple of them. I was like, dang, dude, our Arizona boys are out there working in Austin.
Yeah.
Um, so some things that you're looking forward to the rest of the way over there at Saguaro, like you're going to be part of this rebuild. What can we expect next year?
Um, you're gonna see what y'all can expect is we're gonna be a way better team. Like not just like offense and defense, just like we're gonna be a lot closer than we were last year. We're gonna be in the weight room a lot more. Like and we're just gonna buy in this right now. This time right now we're gonna buy in and just let the coaches put us in the right position to work. So yeah.
All right, man. Hey, I like it. Hey, that Arizona sweatshirt. We got to get you in some Sun Devil maroon and gold. I know
I'll
they
find a store.
I know they offered. I know they offered. Stop that.
Nah, I'll tell you
Do
the
it.
story. So I was with my sister and my girl at a store, and I seen a nice U of A sweater. It was like $15. I was like, hold on, I gotta grab this. Like
Oh
I
man,
can't be
come
the only
on.
quarterback with no college gear. So I had to
Oh
grab something
man,
real
come
quick.
on.
And then
Come on. Hey, Marcel, hey, we're about to make this thing cook. I know you're doing your thing and the speed is there. It's officially documented, verified. Um, we're gonna watch you work this year. I'm super excited. I'm super excited.
yes, sir.
I think you guys are gonna come out hot. I think that Coach Kelly gonna make y'all right. And I know that you guys will be at Flight Club.
Yeah, for sure. Uh,
Hey,
get back from last year. That was a bad way to go out. Did
well,
you
you got
see
the
that?
hey,
Did you see that game? The South Point.
I know that y'all got the rivalry game. I know that Morgan Query was making plays, the big fella over there, the long
He got
wide
lucky.
receiver that they had.
It was a 6 second play. He was it was ref was yeah the ref was he gave him that. It was a 6 second. He ran a goal, then a post, then a dig in the back of the end zone. Like, but I
Oh, you're
mean
killing
they
my
beat us.
man.
He's nice though,
Hey,
but my boy Aiden locking them up though.
hey, it's all good. Hey, look, man, you're absolutely running the rivalry over there in Scottsdale. You know, they got a new coach over there though. They got a new coach. They're trying to bring some things back.
He
Just
can't play
just
on
trying to
the
put you
field though.
just trying to put you on. Hey, just trying to put that on notice. Hey, just trying to put it out there, man.
Yeah.
The rivalry I think is back. I think that this new coach over there, and then obviously with what you got going on over there at Saguaro, what Coach Kelly's doing. I think that this rivalry is going to be back on top sooner than later. Yeah,
Yeah, probably a little later, not right now though.
not right this
But
second.
yeah,
Okay,
I heard
all right.
like a lot of people were telling me he was a good coach and like he's gonna get them dudes right. But they not
I
beat
hope.
us. Like just keep it realistic.
Oh, my man Marcel. Hey, I'm gonna catch up with you down the line. Hey, I am going to catch up with you the week of the
Yes, sir.
Saguaro game, and we're gonna run this conversation back, and we're gonna find out who's who. Sound good?
Yes, sir.
All right, my man. Hey, I'll see you out there at some of the seven stuff because I know you'll be out at ASU and all the college seven. So I'll catch you
Yes, sir.
out there and out and about. All right.
All right, appreciate you. Thanks for having me.
All right, my man. Hey, you take care, and we're gonna get you an ASU hoodie too. All right.
All right,
Bye, man.
appreciate it. Yes, sir.
Oh man,
Billy, we
it's a
couldn't
fully
get
loaded show.
a hoodie for $5, could we?
Hey, listen. At least we know that the colleges aren't doing something super illegal and just giving the gear away, right? Like so, because
We, by the
hey, you
way,
could have thrown somebody under the bus and
week
paid
two,
them back.
the Saguaro Chaparral game. It's earlier this year, of course, with Chaparral moving to 5A and Saguaro staying in 6A, so that it's no longer a region game. But it is week two. It is Saguaro's home opener. There you go.
How did that work? Like, I'm so disappointed in some of the movement and lack of movement in the AIA with the teams. How did Saguaro stay up and Chaparral move down and Desert Edge stay down and like
Well, some teams, I think, Saguaro petitioned to move down.
it just didn't make
They tried to
sense.
move down, and I think the committee that looked at it figured they were too close to that championship, which was all of what, 2 years ago? Yes, that they won. So
Okay.
they said we can't drop them that quick. Chaparral's, I think, was more. It was a combination of what's happened to their record the last 3 years, and with the enrollment being down. And that's what I was surprised that Desert Edge and a few other teams weren't asked to move up. Higley was the only team that they designated to move up. And none of those teams petitioned to offer to move up. And it appears almost definite for those who haven't figured it out on the schedules, that the Open will be 6A only, because the way the schedules are drawn out and they've been coming out, the 6A teams have a bye week and the 5A teams do not. So the 5A teams, it would be a 24-team playoff, which would begin on the final week of the 6A regular season. And then the Open and the 6A playoffs would begin the following week, when the 5A and the 4A are going to 16 teams. They'll have like a play-in round.
Okay, well, I don't know. Okay, it is what it is. What it is. So,
But yeah, I mean,
I'm excited. Football's back, so
it take a lot of people. And if you were to put the 30 best teams in 6A, there are some teams missing that are not in 6A, and there are some teams in 6A that are definitely not top 30 teams in the state, which if that's what they're trying to accomplish, they need to do a better job with. So there you go.
100%. I somewhat agree. So, it is what it is. It is what it is. We can't control it. Gridiron has had a week off.
I did. I'm back.
In that week, things have transpired. There's been 2 Elite 11 camps, one that I went out to, and then one that I did not. I went out to the LA regional, and then I chopped it up with Tate, who was out there at the LA regional, and probably should have gotten.
So I watched the show last night from last week.
Appreciate it.
On there, yeah.
I appreciate it. And he probably should have gotten a golden ticket. He performed well enough. There was 2 quarterbacks that probably should have gotten golden tickets, him and Oscar Rios. And then over there in Texas, I know 2 quarterbacks ended up getting golden tickets, and I'm sure that they were fantastic. And Marcel was competing, and I heard that Marcel was doing his thing.
How many quarterbacks? How many quarterbacks got the golden ticket in LA?
None. 0.
None?
Donut.
Wow.
Donut. 0.
Are they going to
super disappointed?
Just going to have a handful in the finals.
Sometimes they like to hold. Sometimes they like to be stingy with it. It's so weird because like they have like 7 camps, right? Like if you think about it, you can probably invite about 3 per city. But you know, they do. It's a great event, and they do a great job. But they could have thrown Tate and Oscar. Tate and Oscar are probably going to end up getting the invite later. They just didn't get it right away. So they're stingy with it. It is what it is. But speaking of Elite 11, we're going to – what's up?
Keep checking that mailbox. Maybe the ticket will be coming.
It better. Otherwise, I'll be super disappointed. One of those 2 kids better get invited. I don't want to say preferably Tate or preferably Oscar, but both of them should get invited. But one of them better get invited because both of them were good enough to go, and they competed their asses off out there, and we were making all the throws and looked phenomenal. Speaking of Elite 11, we are going to show some love to the camp, and we're going to talk about some of these kids with. Yeah, we stole the Elite 11 logo and used it because we're going to talk about it. So, Elite 11 quarterbacks with Arizona ties that were out there. Tate Reynolds from Queen Creek, Rylan Humphrey from Brophy, Kale Snyder from Perry. All 3 of those kids were absolutely doing their thing while I was out there watching. Those were the guys that were out in LA. Marcel Jones, pictured to the right, was out in Austin. Now, there are 2 quarterbacks over here, not from Arizona, but important because they will be playing against Arizona teams. I know you're going to get into that, so I'll just mention them real quick. Yep. Zealand Danielson from Orange Lutheran, Zachary Benitez from Granite Hills, who I've seen a few times this offseason in 7s and things like that. Absolutely phenomenal ball player. And then for skills, Bobby Nesbitt from ALA Queen Creek and Jai Jones, the wide receiver from Chandler, they were out there competing in the skills out in LA. And then Rico Blasingame was absolutely killing it in Austin. Jai Jones was also killing it. I was watching him put in work. The running back and linebacker positions were kind of light because there was like some other competition going on somewhere else in like Florida or something like that. But Bobby looked good. Looked like he had some bursts, and Jai Jones' hands were absolutely ridiculous, catching everything. So Gridiron, I'm going to let you do your Gridiron thing.
A big season there in Coach Wiz's first year with Chandler.
He's going to go off, Travis Hunter style. So, Gridiron, I'm going to let you do your thing, go inside the numbers, break down some of these kids, and maybe talk about the 2 out-of-staters a little bit.
Yeah, we'll touch on some quarterbacks here. That's kind of the emphasis of the Elite 11 camp. A couple that we haven't talked about as much in previous shows. Rylan Humphrey from Brophy, the quarterback, 6'1", 175. He's a junior, has a 4.25 weighted GPA, played about a third of the snaps last season. His stats, he was 82 of 116 for 900 yards, had a 71 completion percentage, 12 touchdowns, and then he ran a little bit, 205 rush yards, averaging 5.5 yards per carry, and had 2 TDs. Had a huge game in the first round of the playoffs against Boulder Creek, was 7 for 7, 81 yards with a touchdown. That was in a 54-0 win for the Broncos. Also a track athlete in the 100, 4x100, and the long jump. In that long jump, he placed second at state last year as a sophomore with a leap of 22.4. Has offers from Columbia and Yale, as attested with that high-level Brophy education and the high GPA to go with it. So a couple Ivy League offers so far. Then you got Marcel Jones, the guest of the show from earlier there from Saguaro, another quarterback, 6'1", 205. He's a junior. Had to sit the first 4 last season after transferring from Chaparral, but started the rest of the games. His stats, he was 77 of 135, had 1,072 yards, 57% completions, 8 TDs, and then used that speed to run a lot. 441 rush yards, 6.7 yards per carry, and had 6 TDs. Big game against the rival Chaparral last year. 17 of 23 for 250 yards, 2 TDs, and 2 rushing touchdowns in a 35-21 win. Has offers from ASU, Boston College, Kansas, and UNLV. As you guys mentioned, he ran a 4.56 in the 40 at the Elite 11. And then, of course, Noel Mazzone is now the offensive coordinator over there at Saguaro. So we could see some interesting, new things dialed up there with that offense. And then we'll look at. Go ahead.
And I heard that they got a new quarterback coach over there. I'm not sure if it's been released yet, so I don't want to spoil it. But it's who I think it is.
Messages over the past week or so that you kind of alluded to, that I've seen at least 6 or 8 new coaches over there at Saguaro. They've been putting the word out on there. So getting some new members of the staff. The out-of-state guys there, we got Zachary Benitez from Granite Hills. That's in El Cajon in the San Diego area. 6'3", 200, just a sophomore, 3.8 GPA. They will play in the Valley at Perry on Saturday, September 6th. Granite Hills at Perry. His stats from last season, 2,410 yards, 27 touchdowns. Had a game versus Grossmont. This was a wild one. 28 for 41 for 371 yards and 8 touchdown passes in a 90-46 win. So quite a wild game there. I was throwing it up over there. I had offers from San Diego State and UNLV already. He ranked in the top 10 in LA in the accuracy challenge, as did Tate Reynolds from Queen Creek. And then Zealand Danielson from Orange Lutheran, which is in the LA area, just east of Anaheim. Zealand is 6'2", 220. He is still just a freshman. On September 5th, which is a Friday night, Orange Lutheran, the Lancers, will be at Basha. Zealand's stats from last year, he was at Saguaro, and he started the first 4 games there before Jones was eligible. Played a little bit after that. He was 88 of 151 for 982 yards and 4 touchdowns. Also ran for 110 yards and 4 TDs. Had a game against Mountain View, was 23 of 35 for 314 yards and 2 TDs. Already has an offer from Idaho. And then it's worth noting that last year's quarterback at Orange Lutheran was a senior. So he'll be in the running for the starting position this season.
Yeah, a lot of people were whispering at Elite 11 that he was going to be the starter at Olu. And man,
yeah, they did have a few other guys that threw passes last year, but the senior was pretty much exclusively the quarterback for them.
Yeah, and I think that was what, TJ Lateef?
I don't have
TJ Lateef.
Yeah, it sounds familiar. Yeah.
But Zealand was solid out there, getting some work in with the young guys. Zachary Benitez, though, I've watched this kid a couple times. man, he is so impressive. He is so impressive. And I didn't even know about his 90-point basketball game
Yeah.
that he ran on the turf. But he looked really good. But yeah, man. So with these skills kids, Elite 11 has adopted kind of like the Nike's opening camp that they used to do, where they're bringing in all these former players to come coach a variety of positions. And it's super limited, super exclusive. So like the invite to that is just kind of cool. And
Did
they
the
call it all 22.
guys have kind of like a skills competition, like you see at the Pro Bowl kind of thing? Because I noticed that they had the accuracy challenge for quarterbacks.
I didn't see a skills competition, but there was a lot of one-on-one work. There was a lot of one-on-one work. Running backs working with linebackers, wide receivers working with DBs, offensive linemen working with defensive linemen, things like that. So they were able to get a lot of quality work, a lot of individual stuff for about, like I would say, 20, 30 minutes, 45 minutes maybe. And then they would get some combo work, some 1v1 stuff. And it was cool. It's been cool watching that stuff. My guy, Coach Hatchett, he's out there working with those guys. They had a good group. They had a really good group coaching them up and stuff. So yeah, those guys got some quality work. There were some big time dudes out there. Jai Jones being one of them.
Yep.
I can't stress enough. I've been watching Jai Jones on the circuit, absolutely destroying defensive backs. And then during sevens, he's flipping both ways, playing some defensive back himself and putting the clamps on. So
very
it's
rare
fun to watch.
6A level to see that.
Yeah, and I mean, the last real two-way player that I can think of, high level, like at one of the top 6A schools, had to be Cole Luke over at Hamilton, and that was like a billion years ago. Like that was like circa 2013 or something like that. Like, so I can't remember the last time at like, well, I mean, I guess that's not completely true. Kenny Worthy, Noah Carter, guys like that.
Right.
Because they had
But they're
there was
seeing
a need,
work on.
but yeah, like
I think a little more as the season went on too.
yeah. So I guess guys like that, but yeah, yeah, insane. So yeah, these guys really did their thing out there. Kel Snyder looked solid. Rylan Humphrey, the footwork out there was crazy. He was really doing his thing. There's this cool quarterback drill out there that I believe it's Coach Gardner, Devin Gardner, or something like that from Michigan. That he does, where he's got a quarterback mirroring another quarterback, and then all the other quarterbacks are just trying to create some traffic. And Ryland's footwork in that drill looked super on point and stuff, and super talented kid. So super excited for all those kids that got the opportunity, and I am just hoping that I'm hoping that Tate gets an opportunity. I'm hoping that Marcel gets an opportunity to compete. In the finals and stuff. We'll see how that all works out. Gridiron, how was the vacation? Where'd you go? What did you do? I'm trying to live vicariously.
It was very nice. I was in Maui for the week. Taking in the beach, taking in some sun. Yeah, I did doing a little snorkeling out there, watching some whales. So yeah, I had a nice time out there.
Yeah, and in the meantime, your Suns are sneaking into the playoffs through the back door.
They are. They're on the best roll they've had since the 8-1 start, which seems like eons ago. But they've won 4 in a row. Booker pulled out the one last night, and Kevin Durant, player of the week last week, and then already working on this week, getting 38 points last night. They got Boston tomorrow night, so they got 10 games left, and they got to play Boston twice. And Dallas just got Anthony Davis back, so they're certainly not tanking. And right now they're tied with Dallas, but they do hold the tiebreaker over the Mavericks if they end up tied these last 10 games.
Me and Beetle and D-Ghost were talking about this earlier today at Sun Devils practice, and Beetle actually boldly brought it up, and I kind of just had to agree because I feel like that's the right thing to do. Booker's not an alpha. Can he be an alpha on a championship team? Like,
Well,
He's
is
just
this a championship team? Because I'm not sure that it is. Who was the alpha on the team that went to the finals? Wasn't it Booker? I know they didn't win
the
it.
ar- the
What
argue the
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 alpha?
argument was that Chris Paul was the alpha.
I mean, he was the
I think that
orchestra.
that's tough. I think that that's tough to argue.
Yeah, because in the fourth quarter, he was the kind of guy that would measure, how many possessions each team had left and making the most of them, as down the stretch, and you rarely saw turnovers. And there were a few games during the season and definitely a couple playoff games where Chris Paul took over and got on a little scoring spree and sometimes saved them there and sometimes helped them pull away. So it's hard to say. By the numbers, I'm sure that Booker ranked higher in the like the MVP voting and stuff on the team.
He's
But
and I like I hold on. I like Booker. I
Mhm.
actually like Booker. I want to see him for the sake of all my Suns fans friends. I want to see him retire a Sun, hopefully with a
Mhm.
championship. But the reality is like right now during their somewhat impressive little run that they're like on,
The 4-game
is
streak.
KD the guy? KD's the guy.
Certainly, yeah, I would agree with that, and I think everyone was expecting KD to take the shot last night in the game, but I think they kind of came up and doubled on him, and he had found Booker and got the game winner.
Look. Since the Suns made that run, it was brought up where Booker belong. I think I brought it up on Twitter, and people. This wouldn't be the first Suns post that I got vilified for. The first one would be Luka Doncic and Aiton. But I brought up where Booker belongs. Is he a top 15, top 10 player? And at the time,
The whole
and
NBA.
yeah, in the whole NBA. I believe it was Coach Koner was like, "Oh my God, he's absolutely top 10." Coach Koner, the notorious offensive coordinator for Chaparral. Let's
back
show
back then,
Shaq
or
some love. Back then, he was like, "Oh, his age and what he's doing. You have to put him in that top 10 conversation." But do you? He's not an all-star. He's not a superstar. Like, is he a superstar? You
super
have to say no because he's not even an all-star.
say no. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, you have to say no. I think
He has barely surpassed Rising Star.
well, he wasn't an all-star this season, and it was hard to justify an argument saying that he should have been in over the two or three other guys that you could argue that he went in over.
Man, I don't know. I'm just trying to figure out like if you blow this team up, and it obviously starts with Durant.
Then
If you
Booker
blow this team
back
up,
to being the mega scorer. Yeah.
the mega scorer on a team
On a
that's going to
team that
win like 30 games.
Yeah, well, yeah, because they're still not a 500 team right now, right? Aren't they still under 5?
No, they're not.
Even with a 4-game win streak, I think they're still under right now.
No, I think they are still under. I mean, I'm just curious. I'm just curious in your
They're still 2 games under even after the 4-game win streak. So you can't say if they blow it up, they're only going to be a 500 team because right now they're not even a 500 team. So yeah, they would be maybe a 35 win team if you blew it up. Yeah.
if you blow it up, do you trade Booker? Would you trade Booker? Would
No,
you
I would
trade Booker for some picks?
get more
Would you
for him.
trade Booker and Durant? Would you just blow the whole thing up?
I wouldn't. No.
And would Ishbia be ran out of the valley if he traded Booker for a future for picks and
I mean, people would blame Ishbia for the whole thing just because of it not working out with a couple of trades. The Beal trade obviously for one, and because that's what caused him to get rid of Chris Paul. And then obviously, the KD one, assuming that there's no long run this season, the KD one not working out to what they expected to happen. because this would be what? This would be their third playoff run, possibly, with KD. And what
I really,
and what
I,
did they get? They won one round, and then last year they got swept. So
I really hope that they win the championship this year as a 10th seed, so that way we don't know. That way nobody really knows what to do.
I don't
But
know.
then everybody's also happy.
Oklahoma City's going to end up in the high 60s for wins. So this is
Man,
bordering on historic over there. They're not going to hit 70 unless they run the table and go 11-0. But they've won 9 of their last 10 and 6 straight. So who knows if they get close, they might keep the starters out there and make a run at 70.
look, the reality is that the NBA does not want an Oklahoma City Cleveland finals, so they would much rather have the Suns as a 10th seed and Kevin Durant and Devin Booker be a story and make the finals over Oklahoma. If it's Oklahoma City or the Suns versus Cleveland, they are definitely taking Suns Cleveland.
So they would want Lakers Boston again rather
for sure.
than Oklahoma City. And
Well, yeah, because Luke is a superstar.
yeah, the Lakers are the must-watch TV with the stars. I agree. And
Well,
then
I just want to make sure. I just want to make sure that we're both saying that Luka is a superstar.
is he the
Like,
superstar?
there's no question, right?
Is he the superstar in the Lakers now?
Well, he is a superstar, though. Like, he's a superstar. Can we agree on that?
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Okay, okay. Whether
That's
or
why-
not he's the superstar or whatever,
Traded him, yeah,
I think Bronny might get more clicks than him. So you never know how that
because
stuff
I
is
don't
like
necessarily think that Anthony Davis is a superstar, and that's who we got traded for. So
Oh man, that's so insane. I can't believe that.
who finally came back last night, but played his second game with the Mavs. So
Yeah, no Kyrie. No Kyrie.
and no
though.
Kyrie, that's correct. Yeah, with the
Hey, how's your bracket looking, by the way?
The bracket is actually looking pretty good. I'm in the middle on the pool kind of thing that I'm in, but I'm positioned well. Whereas usually at this point I'm kind of working through the numbers, going, okay, I gotta win like 5 straight games to avoid elimination. Whereas this year I could still hit the entire Elite Eight, and so I haven't
wow,
teams in the round of 8 yet. So
man, I took Clemson to the Final Four because I had Tate on the show last week.
Yeah, I heard you say that. And then of course, I'm assuming you stuck with St. John's and your new.
And I did stick with St. John's. I did stick with St. John's to the Final Four, and they killed me. So, yeah, my whole thing's in.
I not only had Ole Miss making it to the Sweet 16, I've got them in the Final Four. So that is my Cinderella team there. So we'll see if they can pull it through this weekend out there in the South Regional.
All right. Hey, Gridiron, I appreciate you stopping by, hanging out, being a part of the show and stuff like that. Inside the Numbers, the longest running segment on what I think is probably the longest running weekly episodic show in high school sports, definitely in the Valley, right? So, Gridiron, shout out to you mostly. Shout out to you. I don't know how long Inside the Numbers has been actually running. I don't know when the first Inside the Numbers segment actually ran.
That'd be maybe 5 years. I don't know, something like that.
I don't know. We gotta find out. I mean, you've been the producer / co-host since the beginning, though. So I always appreciate you.
Are we going to talk
about next?
Are we going to talk about one of the new head coaches or no?
We can. No, actually, you know what? Let's save it for next week. Let's save it for next week because there's a thing. But
creeping up on the 1 hour anyway, so there you go.
You know the deal. But I was gonna ask you something, and now I seem to have forgotten. So I'll just ask you later on off air and stuff. But I appreciate you. Always doing your thing. Inside the Number segment. Men lie, women lie. Numbers don't. Gridiron always kept it real with the community. Gonna catch you next week. Sound good? Next week. Schedule breakdowns. We officially begin schedule breakdowns next week.
Yeah, we've got I've got all the 6A. I've got probably more than half of the 5A so far. So yeah, we can start schedule break. Post your team requests in the schedules in the comments below, and we'll see what we find there, and we'll pick a couple out for next week's show.
there's been a couple teams that tag both of us that demand that they are first up. Since
All right.
I
Well,
said
yeah,
if you
I'll
tag both of
I'll let
us,
you discuss that with me later this week.
we give you dibs. So, Gridiron, I appreciate you, and I'll catch you next week. Schedule breakdowns officially begin next week.
All right, we'll see you.
This is officially the first that I'm seeing of it, and I know that this has been on the timeline for a hot minute. So I guess I'm just going to discuss some of this for a quick second, if you will. Let's see here. I can find it. Boom, boom. Wow. Uh, Breaking news. AIA breaking news. One of the best coaches in the AIA, Coach Sammy Dwayne from Perry, has stepped down. He'll definitely be missed. And Coach has been absolutely phenomenal in his career over at Coronel del Sol in Perry, where I'm familiar with him. Greg Rosenberg breaks this news. I don't know if he was the first one to post this or the first one to leak this, but what I do know is he's the first one that I saw. So he broke it. I'm giving him the credit. Want to show him love, my guy Greg. Wow, that's crazy. I did not expect that. I really did not expect that. I thought that he would be staying at Perry for a little bit longer, just because there's so much talent over there. So whoever lands that job is going to have an incredible amount of talent to work with, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So there's that. But your boy Chili, I'm gonna get to packing and stuff, so I don't have any more like technical difficulties and things like that. And hopefully next week from the new place, maybe, not sure. Live from California, you never know. I'm gonna make my way out of here though, and I'm super grateful for everybody always showing love. So if there's anything I can ever help out with, I do know that there's a red zone this weekend. Highly likely, I will try to make my way out there. I'm not for sure if I make my way out there. Most likely on Sunday, but just stay tuned. Your boy Chili, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat at Just Chili, YouTube, TikTok, Just Chili TV. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Follow, tag me in all your stuff that you guys post that's football related. And before I forget, out of spring practice, I did see my guy Marcel Davis from Desert Edge, a super talented corner with the incredible footwork. So just wanted to show him some love. He came over, said what was up. Just let me know that he was out there taking in practice and things like that. Look, if you're out there, come holler at your boy. You know the deal. Forks up forever. Shout out to my guy Cannon Siegel, new coach. If he slides in the DMs or whatever, gives you a follow, make sure you follow him back. Coach Trenton Bourget, same thing. Take care of the guys that are out there to take care of you. Other than that, I'm out of here. Forks up forever. You know.